not good enough. You don't measure up. You don't fit in. You're a failure. Those were messages I heard growing up. Thankfully, never from in the walls of my home. I'm actually the youngest of two girls, the daughter of a football coach and elementary school teacher, so I was taught the finer points of a three-point stance and how to throw a spiral and how to love a good book. So I was always outside, usually with dirty hands and scraped up knees, and if my older sister was doing it, oh, I guarantee you I was doing it too, and I was probably going to try to do it better. And that was fine, and it was fun. And then somewhere in adolescence, some messages started happening. All of a sudden, I was the girl who was too stubborn, too strong-willed, too honest, too outspoken, and the biggest grievance seemed to be I was not at all like my older sister. And it was very confusing because up until this time I'd been writing my own story and I was fine with it. I enjoyed it. But now I was a little bit confused, and I remember on two different occasions, two different coaches, 4 years apart, began to demean and degrade me in front of gyms full of people. And I could not handle that. I did not know how to handle that. What I do remember is the shame and embarrassment of those moments and thinking maybe they're right, and I believed a lie this whole time. So the easiest thing for me to do was to say, here, you tell me. You tell me who I should be and where I should go and what I should do, because this tension of what I believe and what I'm hearing is too great for me. So that's what I did. I allowed other people to write my story, and it was a wreck. And I remember a moment after college, looking at my own reflection one day and having no clue who I was. And I was beaten, I was frustrated, and I remember shouting out, God, who am I? What have you called me to do? Why am I here? Because if this is it, I am done. I cannot do this. It hurts. All I know is this anger and this frustration, and I hate it. And he very gently said, my child, you cannot give yourself unless you have yourself. He said, you have been created on purpose and for a purpose. Would you please gather your wits, have some courage, take back the pen, and start writing the story I have for you? And so I did. And it was a lot better then. But you know, not a lot of people liked that decision. You see, there are those people that I had allowed to do my story for me. They didn't like the control being taken away. They didn't agree. There were people who didn't understand. There were confines. There were, this is how we do things. Not me. I don't care what you think. This is my story. This is a path I'm supposed to go on, so I'm going to walk it. And so these nice little pretty boxes people had constructed for me, I ignored. I smashed. I questioned them. Not a lot of people like their beliefs being questioned. I had fun questioning them anyway. Kind of honoring. And that went on, but what I also found is there were other people who had felt like me, whose I started to notice as I would continue to write my own story, they would take one step, a little bit further out into their own, because when you are writing your story, you will empower others to do the same. And you've heard that throughout this whole weekend. It is not just about us. It is never just about us. And as I've continued to write my story, opportunities I could never fathom have presented themselves when Susie Eller, Proverbs 31 speaker and writer, asked me not once but twice, would you share on my website? Thousands of women will read this. I think your words will positively impact them. I don't question that. Yes, that's the next best step in my story. Yes, Susie Eller, I will write for you. Thank you. I'm a monthly contributor to Internet Cafe Devotions, they have thousands of women monthly visit their site. I get to encourage women once a month through one little post. And I've been able to speak at women's Bible studies and for different organizations, and I guarantee you this would never have happened if I had not taken that step to start writing my story. And so last year I had this crazy idea that I should write a women's Bible study. And there were people, oh, can you do that? You didn't go to seminary, you don't have the training, you don't have this, you don't have that. I don't care. I'm stubborn, I'm strong-willed, I'm supposed to do this, so guess what? I'm going to do it. And it was not easy, but I knew it was the next best step for me. And then I kind of got the idea, well, since I've written it, I probably need to learn to teach it. So I kind of put out on Facebook, and my sweet mom, wanting to help ease the blow just in case, she said, well, maybe just a few people since it's a summer will come. And I thought, well, I know 3 because they're 3 of my closest friends. Their butts will be in my living room because I'm going to make them. 12 to 15 women on any given week would show up. I had no clue what I was doing. They were like, Michelle, how's this going to work? I don't know. We're about to find out, though. And it was great because even in the mess of our stories, it is still good. There is still value, and there is still worth. And what I found, even through this process especially, is the help I needed always presented itself at just the right time, in just the right way, from just the right people. Because I was being true to my story, and typically it was people who are willing to walk in their own story because there is no competition there. And look around this room, there is no competition. There are people who have similar vision and goals that I do, and I can learn and grow from them. And it's not, oh, well, I don't think I want to share with her because then that's someone to compete with later. The better you are, the better success you have, the better chance I have. And I love that. And I went, oh, I'm going, sister. And right here, she told me, this is my daughter. She actually said, you think when you get to the part of me that you can hold it together? Baby girl, I'm going to try. But right here, this is my best life work. And she is already writing a story. She's an incredible human being. Jared Murr has already declared her his favorite person. She's not even here. But she is already writing a story of art and music. And she is a deep thinker like her father. She loves fiercely like her mother. And in an area where athletics reign supreme, she is an intellectual. She is an artist. And I know there will be people who will tell her, Zoe, that's not right. This is who you should be. This is where you should go. This is what you should do. And what I want this little girl to say is thank you. Thank you for giving me your input. I believe you have my best interest at heart. But you see, my mother told me that I was able to write my own story. And I think it's worth writing. She told me that. And I know you may not understand it, but I believe that I can because every day of my life I watch my mother do it. You guys, that's really what it's all about. As much as I believe in that amazingly beautiful little girl, I believe in every single one of you. I believe you have a story worth sharing, worth writing. Because there are days it is hard. There are days that I think, I can't do this. All those people who said all that stuff, they were right. I'm not worth it. I have nothing to share. I am a failure. But then I look and I see what you guys are doing and I see where you guys are going. I'm like, yes, I can. They're doing it. Yes, I can. And I have people who step up. Are you being true to yourself? Are you writing your story? I need that from you. I want you to take back the pen and write your story.